I'm so fucking hyped. Hello, I'm Mayleets, and welcome to couponbug.com. This video is sponsored by World of Tanks, Audible, Squarespace. Yeah, Squarespace. There's another one. Raid. Shadow Legends! Anyway, my video is sponsored by all of those people. They gave me millions of dollars to come in front of you. All right, we need to stop making jokes because we've got a very, very important video to make. And when I say we, I mean me, because I am completely alone in this room. So when last I spoke to you about literature, I had written this book. You might remember a while back, a plucky idiot filmed a video on her webcam on her laptop saying, hey guys, so you don't have to. It doesn't matter. It's stupid anyway, but I did kind of write a book so you can buy it. And then 5,000 of you motherfuckers bought it. 5,000. That's too many. Don't do it again. Anyway, I really didn't think that this book was going to be a big fucking deal. But then, I think we're climbing. I think we're probably near 6K now. It's just getting out there. I was in Newsweek. I was all over the goddamn place for a while. I've had a million people come up to me at a million different events and shows and say, hey, I read your book and it was pretty good. So I love that. Love to hear that. That makes me happy. Genuinely, while I did put a lot of time and effort into it, I didn't think that it was going to be a big deal. I thought it was just a thing I did. Like, I've done a lot of things. I just thought it was another one of those. But a lot of people were like, May, did you know you're actually pretty good at writing? This was news to me. I didn't actually know that. Incredible news for me. A year is a long time. A lot of people think a year is short. They're fucking wrong. A year is very long. So you did so much in just a year. Remember that a year is 365 days, and every single day, as the phrase goes, it is seizable. You can get your ass out off that couch or onto the couch and get your laptop out, and you can just whip something together if you really want to. But for context, the first draft of this book was written in 72 hours in one straight session. The editing process was much longer. Before you're like, amazing, remember that the actual work started like after that happened, not before or during. While it did come out of my brain in 72 hours, it didn't get good until, a couple hundred hours later. I wrote a book and people liked it. Great for you. Must have been nice. Must admit that I have taken my time, and this didn't happen in 72 hours, okay? This took me a while, but I wrote another one. It's called Girl Flesh, and we're going to be talking about it today. You'll notice immediately that there's a difference. This one is about twice the size of Fluids because I actually spent quite a bit of time writing and rewriting and rethinking and reading it and then showing it to people, and then people being like, you shouldn't. What are you doing? And then me ignoring their advice and doing what I wanted anyway, like a little goblin. As you can see, I'm a lot more excited and peppy than I was the last time I made a video about a book I had written because I actually really, really love this book. I know that saying that sounds like a cool sales marketing tactic, but here over at coupon.com or whatever we say it was, couponbug.com, I've lost my train of thought. We're going to move on. So I took a hiatus a couple of months ago from watching people get their heads cut off with scissors, which I thought was a great choice. It made me happy. And in that time, I was like, okay, twofold thing. Like, number one, I hate YouTube. It's a terrible website filled with content that is disgusting and horrible, and I, too, am guilty of this. So I was like, maybe if I let my guilt go, I'll be a happy person. And I was correct. But also, I really desperately needed to sit down and actually take this thing seriously and get this thing done. I wanted the world get it and be able to read it and it to be a good book, which takes hundreds of hours. So I was like, what if I took the hundreds of hours I usually spend watching people get hacked apart with chainsaws and spent that time actually doing something productive with my life? And now look at me in the same exact spot, only now I have another book. Incredible. So hiatus is going very, very well, and I think I'm going to keep it up. Actually, I think that's going to come completely out of necessity more than anything, because I got a lot of shit lined up. Girl Flesh, it's a book. I wrote it. I'm really excited about it. We're going to talk about it now. Are you excited? leave a comment on this web zone if you're excited. Girl Flesh, as I said, was written over the course of just about almost a year. I mean, like, so I published Fluids for like full publishing. I had the book done in like March-ish. Then I moved states, which was nice and very easy to do. I highly recommend that you do that with your time. And then once I got here, I was like, okay, clearly it's time to publish this motherfucker. We published in like May. I want to say it was like May 14th. Then, you know, the book did pretty well. There are 3 editions of Fluids because the first one was through like a press company that I really did not enjoy working with, but and I don't think they necessarily did the best job formatting that I would have liked. I told them to shove it up their ass, and I did my own formatting for the second version of the book. Ended up in another state for a little while. I tightened everything up, worked with another editor that I really liked to do a little bit more cleaning on it, and then we put the third edition, was this one that I'm holding, which has a nice matte cover. Here, let's do a little ASMR. That doesn't sound like anything. We got that done, and now that version is the version that is most readily available. That pretty much got to the book to where it was just like, okay, 100%, this book is done. Nothing else needs done to it. I learned a lot. I learned that you should never ask some random motherfucker to make your formatting stuff for you because they're gonna fuck it up and not care about it because they didn't write the book. You wrote the book. You care about it, not them. So this is not to say don't ask for help, but also don't. Worked with an editor that I ended up really, I love his work. His name is Breyer, and also did Girl Flesh. Fantastic news for me there. I started writing Girl Flesh in, I want to say it was June or July. I had been fucking with a couple ideas after I got Fluids done because I was like, okay, people like this. Maybe I should write another book. I even did a couple of live streams where I talked about different chapters that I was kind of working with, like on a hypothetical second book. Fluids and Girl Flesh have absolutely nothing to do with each other. I don't really like that whole all the books take place in the same universe thing. I don't really fuck with that. I also don't fuck with sequels. So I was like, completely unrelated story. So I started working on that in June. I got maybe 10 to 15,000 words into 3 or 4 different books that I was like, this is clearly it. Like, this is the one. And then I threw it in the recycle bin on my computer, which is right where they belonged because they sucked and were awful. I wrote 3 or 4 chapters just kind of on a whim, completely selfishly, because I was like, well, no one's gonna read this anyway. It's way too personal. And it had things that were going on in my personal life in there, and I was just like, spooky. Actually, that would be the thing that I would finish. Amazing. So that ended up being the thing that I finished. Amazing. Although many alterations have been made along the way to make sure that it doesn't resemble any personal life bullshit whatsoever. It definitely started with the seed of that. Fluids did too. The way that I started writing that book was like, clearly this is the mentality of somebody that's been in my life, and I'm just going to write that person. And then I felt guilty about that, made a shitload of changes, and then it became a completely different thing. The same is true for Girl Flesh. I guess that's just my process. Whenever I try to think creatively, I can't get anything, but whenever I'm just like, I would like to write this exact thing today, then the book just comes pouring right out of my ass like liquid shit. What is Girl Flesh about, and whose flesh is girls? I haven't done YouTube in a while, and I forgot what humor is like. I've been riding my bike. I've been walking around outside. I've been living my life, so you're gonna have to excuse me if I can't come up with anything funny to say. Girl Flesh follows 2 characters who meet in a kidnapping-like scenario where they don't know exactly why they kidnapped, but they do know that they're both somewhat related in the sense that they're kind of internet celebrities, and there's this kind of narcissistic assumption that whatever is going on in their life, bad, has to have something to do with their platform. There's like this kidnapping concept in this like microcosm, but it's also like kidnapping in this like broad sense. The world is kind of trapping people in these certain cycles, more akin to like the kidnapping vibe than the actual kidnapping. The book kind of becomes an exercise in the way that these 2 characters sort of learn to work together and get out of the situations that they're in. Let me tell you what, I might be biased. but I think it's pretty good. I didn't say that about fluids. I still make jokes about fluids being like, no idea why this blew up. But Girl Flesh, like, I genuinely think I put my all into it, and I think it's pretty good. The most important part of it is the part that I've completely avoided, which is that this is a book about lesbians, women's who love each other. And it's on the cover. Here, let me show you. It says, what does that say? Extreme horror story about love. Very good to put on the cover. Wanted to make sure that in and of itself was like the leading thing. So, you know, Fluids was very anti-love. It was very much like maybe the person that's hitting on you on Tinder is actually a monster who will fucking kill you. This one's like love good actually and great. And you can be happy. Think about it. I'm trying to be positive in book form. I wanted people to have a sentiment that was like both genuine, authentic, and also meaningful and good. I would hope so, given it's the point. If I fuck that one up, then oh boy, we're in trouble. That, I guess, brings us to now. I wrote this in multiple states, several. Touring for music. I wrote this while recording, kicking it in Wyoming, which was a nightmare. Wrote it here at home amongst company and also alone, many different intervals there. So I feel like I gained a lot of perspective for writing it. I feel like Fluids kind of came because I was very cloistered, very around COVID, the height of it. I'm not necessarily the most social right now. So clearly, if I want a schizo post, I got to do it to myself alone. This one, you know, is more based on like a lot of human interaction, which I feel like made the book feel more lived in, more real. There's just like kind of a warmth to it that maybe wasn't there in Fluids. Not to talk shit about Fluids. Fluids is my baby. I think I nailed that part, which was the part that I really wanted to nail. I think it's a product of the life that I've been living. It's better. It's better. It's good. It's great. Things are going okie dokie. Actually, isn't this a bad thing to do? Doesn't this mean something bad now? It's okay. Okay. I don't want to live anymore. Now, this brings us to February 19th, which is when I'm recording this video, but not when it's being published. Time's weird. I have released pre-orders because I'm pretty satisfied with the printing that I've been getting. This one is also self-published. I'm going through different channels that I've worked with before, with a bunch of different people that I've worked with before, to bring like the best quality publishing that I could get without working with a big publisher, because I think I can do better on my own. I can do bad all by myself. Self-publishing. Once again, I put the pre-orders up yesterday. Over 200 people have already pre-ordered, which is wild. I can't believe that my writing is as popular as it is. In a lot of ways, this video is certainly me letting you know that that is an option, that you can pre-order. There are two different ways to pre-order. You can pre-order both Fluids and Girl Flesh together and get them signed. They're going fast, but if the demand is like high enough, I might figure out how I can do more of that. It's just kind of costly on my end, but I'll work it out. And then you can just get the book on its own, and we'll be delivering those to you on the release date is drum roll, but also don't actually do one. March 28th. March 28th. That's the date we're working with. That motherfucker is coming out on March 28th. You gotta get it by then, or else you're gonna get it normally, like normal. It should be everywhere on March 28th, and by everywhere I mean you're not gonna stop seeing it. You're gonna see it fucking everywhere. You're gonna be like, oh my god, Oprah Book Club, opening your New York Times with your morning coffee and your morning paper, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Mayleets is on the cover? What? How did that happen? You're gonna be talking to your mom, and she's gonna be like, I just read this beautiful book. You're gonna be like, Mom, no! You're gonna be sick of hearing about it. You better get it while the getting's good and before culture has completely burned it out from existence. You're gonna want to get on top of this. You're gonna want to get ahead of the bullet, because it just might kill you if you wait too long. This is my best argument for pre-ordering. As time has gone on, I really like writing more than I like any of the other creative endeavors that I do. I also make music. I got an album coming out, but fucking this video is not about that, is it? It's about the book, because I'm more proud of that. I'm definitely more proud of that. That's my big thing right now. I sure love it. I can't wait to write a third book if the idea strikes. I can't wait to write 10 to 15,000 words of several things that I'm going to put in my recycle bin before I come up with one that I can't stop writing. Maybe do yourself a little solid. Check out my writing. here over at couponbug.com, I had no joke, swing and a miss. All right, so if you want to get a copy of my book, Girl Flesh, or buy that token, you can also get the newest version of Fluids. You can pick those up over at my Bandcamp. It's nickspheres.bandcamp.com/merch. As the time gets closer, maybe on the day, it's going to be available with Barnes & Noble on their website as well, and it's going to be available through Amazon. There are ebooks available on Amazon. I did an audiobook for Fluids. I wasn't mega happy with the audiobook, but I did do one. It was just a bitch, and it sucked. Like, I would like to do an audiobook for Girl Flesh, but it's going to take forever. We'll see. Maybe it'll be on Audible. Maybe head on over to Audible, use my coupon code, get yourself a Squarespace. I haven't decided yet. Maybe if you're really nice for Christmas this year, Mama will try and find some time. There's not a lot more to say. Book good, work hard on it. Took long time. I wrote it through some of the best times of my whole life and also some of the worst times of my whole life. If you're reading the book and you're like, damn, this part is great, or damn, this part is bad, you can pretty much assume that that's how I was probably feeling when I wrote those words. So very assumptive. Yeah, it's very personal. It's super personal. I'm making a lot of jokes because it's so personal. It's like hard to put it out there in such a way because it is just so like personal to my fucking life, the way that things have been in my days. So hopefully it will be received with kindness and not with hatred. We'll find out soon. Please check it out. Please pre-order. I sure know you gotta have that sweet gray looking book. You look at this and you're like, look how gray it is. I have to have that. It's so gray. How did I do that? I don't know. I don't even remember when I did that. I think it was like in the middle of a fever dream in the middle of the night. I just woke up with it on my computer. It was like, oh shit. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. I know I come across like a coked out lunatic. Just very, very excited. Very, very happy about book. I hope you like it. And I hope that your mom reads it too. And she also likes it. Big difference between Fluids and Girl Flesh. Fluids, your mom's gonna not like it. Your mom's not gonna like it, but this one, your mom might like it. Just see how open-ended she is about the idea of lesbians. But if she's open to it, then she'll probably like it, I think. Thank you for watching. I've been Mayleets, the author of 2 books now. I'm gonna go live my life and be happy now. I'll see you very soon with more content, or whatever the kids are calling it these days. Anyway, make sure and go subscribe to Raid Shadow Legends. I love you. Bye.